Hello guys, in this part we have to create service account for the installation of SQL, and to do it we need to access Active Directory user and computer first. And as you see in here we have both now normal accounts and managed service account. Managed service account, I need to create now service account for the installation. You might ask why I don't just use a normal user account. One of the reasons is what kind of permission you need to assign to a user account. If you give it a permission of a domain admin or local admin, maybe it is more than required to run a specific service in SQL. So that is going to waste of power and is going to increase the service of attack. And the other problem is, according to the default group policy we have, you need to reset the password usually each 42 days. Who's going to maintain the accounts which you want to assign them to the SQL server and reset the password for them? Here you might have a problem. One day you come in the morning, you'll find SQL is not running. You try different troubleshooting task or approach, and by an end maybe you have to remove the SQL and reinstall it, when the only problem was the account which is attached to the main service of SQL need to reset its password, but that is not going to cross your mind. So to avoid all these kind of problems, it's better to create a managed service accounts and assign them through the installation of SQL Server itself. And this is what we need to do in this video. The only problem with managed service account, we cannot use just a GUI to create it. It's better to use a command lines. There are some other techniques which you can follow, but here we are going to follow the official technique to use a command lines, and we will see exactly how to use it. Now, we need two services account according to what we are going to install per server. Two service account for Victoria Server 1 and two service account for Victoria Server 2. One of the service account is going to be working with the main engine of the SQL server, and the other one is going to work with SQL agent. We will see that anyway through the installation, but for now I now need to create 4 accounts, 2 for Victoria Server 2 and 2 for Victoria Server 1. And yes, we need to use a domain controller for such mission. So what I will do now, I will click on my start and access immediately to Windows PowerShell, right click and select run as administrator. Then you can just type cd / have more space. And now you need to do the following. The first thing, you need to add the KDS root key, and it is going to be the cluster. In that cluster, all the service account to be created and managed using that cluster. And to create it, simply you need to type the following command. So here add KDS root key, effective time, get date dot add hour -10. What this command is for, in real life we use this command add KDS root key to create the main key for the cluster, and then we need to leave our environment for 10 hours. Make sure the cluster is going to be replicated between all domain controllers. Now, because I have a single domain controller and I want just to do the lab immediately, I don't have 10 hours to wait. So that's why I'm going to say effective it immediately right now, because the time you're supposed to wait is 10 hours. So -10, which means effective it right away. Hit enter. And it tells you if it is going to be created, or if it is already exist, also is going to show you the git is already exist, which means you already have a service account. But now, because I know we don't have it, so we need first to create this root. Now, after that, you have 3 major commands you need to do it per service account. So these 3 commands, I'm going to repeat them now 3 by 4 for 12 times. Let us see what are these commands, so it will be easier later to manage them. Just now right click and access to run, and let us type notepad. And in notepad, these are the following 3 commands. The first command, we need to create an Active Directory service account with the following commands. So let us see what is this one. And as you see, the command is a new Active Directory service account, name of the service account which you want to create, and the DNS host name here, DNS name of domain controller. So I need to mention on which domain controller you want to create the service account. This is the first step in our command. The next step, I need to link the service account which I'm going to create on my domain controller with the server where I want the service account to work. And then this command is going to be add Active Directory computer service account with identity and all other information. So add Active Directory service account identity host computer name, I need to mention it, and the service account which I just created in the previous step, so the MSA name. Finally, I need to access to the server, and on that server I need to give permission for that service account to work. So on the server I need to run this command. And here I have install Active Directory service account, identity, and the name of the service account. So now these three commands, I need to run them per service account. Let us start, get a copy of the commands so I can manage them. Now for the first service account, which I wanted to run on Victoria Server 2, the service account here, I will call it SQL 2019 for Server 2 database. This is the name of it, and the name of my domain controller, we know what is it, is Victoria dc1.gcyber.local. Then, on which computer do I want to install this service account? I want to install it on Victoria, here DC1. I want it to be on Victoria Server 2. And the service account, the name of it is this one, SQL 2019 Server Database. Create it like this. And then later when I log in to Victoria Server 2, I just need to install on it the service account, which is SQL Server 2019 Server 2 Database. So this is the first block I need to run. Then again, I need to create another service account, but this time is for the agent, SQL agent. We will see that once we install. And with this one, again, I need to create another service account. Instead of database, I will call it now agent. And again, need to be created on Victoria DC1. Add Active Directory Computer Service account. I link Victoria Server 2 with the service account, which is SQL 2019 Server 2 agent. And finally, install Active Directory Service account. Instead database, here we have agent. These are the commands for Server 2. Then I will copy these two blocks because I need to do exactly the same for Server 1. So that's why here I have now the other commands. Now with the other commands, just instead Server 2, make it Server 1. So again, I create another service account, Server 1 database, to be created on the domain controller. Identity here, it is on Victoria Server 1. I need to link Server 1 database service account. And once we are in there, we log in, we need to install and authorize the service account to work on the server. Again, here with Server 2, we make it 1. We make it 1. We make it 1. And finally here also we need to make it 1. All is good. We are ready now to start. So okay, let us start to run first this command. Create the first service account. So here, new Active Directory service account, Server 2 database on Victoria DC1 gcyber.local is being created. Then we need to link it with Victoria Server 2. It is linked, I don't have error. And later, once I access to Victoria Server 2, I will run this command. But let us also create the other service accounts. Now we create the other service account for the agent Server 2. Okay, the name of this service account is too long, so let us just call it AG maybe. Now it is being accepted, and immediately I need to fix that on all the accounts. So here for the agent, should be AG now, and we link AG, and finally we install AG. And same thing later with Server 1. We need to create Server 1 AG, link it, and install it to make sure we won't have any problem because it is too long. Good. The other service account now is being created, and I need also to link it. So here add Active Directory server 2 with this one, copy, paste, just hit enter and it is being accepted. So far, if I check now my Active Directory user and computer managed service account, if we just refresh it, as you see, we have these two service accounts, AG and DB. I need another two accounts for server 1. So now we need to run this one, this command. Now this one is for server 1, and I need also to link it with server 1. Then I need for the agent, and for the agent is the same. Copy this command, paste it, and finally copy this command and paste it. All good. Now again we need to refresh the Active Directory user and computers, make sure it's going to run. And here now I have all the 4 service accounts. Now what I need to do, access to Victoria Server 2 and in Server 1 uninstall these accounts. Now in Server 1, if I want to install Active Directory service account and the name of the account which I want to install, I expect to have an error. And the reason is because this command is not available in the normal server, which is Server 1. That's why I will have to add now something from the server manager to be able to use these accounts or these commands. So I need to click on add roles and features, next, next, and I need to pick here Victoria Server 1, next, and in Victoria Server 1 it is not a role, it is in features. We have in features remote access tools, remote server administration. And with that one, with role administration, you need to pick this one, Active Directory Domain Services and ADLDS tools, because this one will allow you now to get the snap-ins and commands for Active Directory Domain Services. This one needs to be installed. Installation succeeded. Close it for Server 1. Now in Server 1, I will run the following command, which is import module Active Directory. Now I'm supposed to be able to import it because it has been installed. It is Active Directory, sorry. Okay, now if I run the command, which is install Active Directory service account, it's supposed to work. And okay, let us see what is the error. Now to solve the problem, I just have one more step I need to add it. See here later when I'll try to install it, the service account on this server and activate it is running. I need again in Victoria DC1 to run the following command. I need to set Active Directory service account, the name of that account, and the name of the computer will be allowed to retrieve managed password, Victoria Server 1 inside computers inside gCyber local. I need first to run this command in the domain controller, then I will be able to install the command. Let us give it a try with the other service account. Here I will copy it now, paste it. And you remember I have another account, service account, which is in addition to the database, I have the AG for the agent. So with this one, I'll just change the account in here to AG. And again, I want to allow all the work same is principal allowed for Victoria Server 1, computers, blah, blah, blah. Copy that. Paste it now in Victoria Server 1, and again this one is accepted. So on Victoria Server now, if I need to install the AG, again it's going to work with no problem. The same thing now I need to do it with Victoria Server 2. I need first in Victoria DC1 run these two commands again. I still have the same service account, but now whenever I will have Server 1, I need to use instead Server 2. So we start first with the database 1. And with this one, we have now Server 2 database. And I want principal allowed to run on Server 2. Then for the agent, the same technique. We need to allow the AG of server 2 to be allowed to be managed by server 2. And now in server 2 I can install the accounts. So here I just need to make sure, copy this command, and then I can manage it. Copy, access to Victoria Server 2, and Victoria Server 2, make sure all the time to run PowerShell as administrator. Here now the command is to install Server 2 AG. And again the same problem, install Active Directory service account is not allowed. So again I need to add the roles and features. The same technique, role based for Victoria Server 2. It is not a role, it is a feature, and in feature remote server administration. In the role administration role, we need to allow Active Directory domain services and LDS. Next, install. Installation is succeeded. We need to close it. And now before I run this command, of course, I need to import now the module of Active Directory. And once it is in there, we try now to install the account on server 2, and it is done. And also I need to install the DB account on this server, and again it is done. By this now both servers are ready to install the SQL server, and through the installation we will see how to use those service account to make sure we have a smooth run for SQL later. Thanks for watching. One more thing, I just need to mention it now, and later again we are going to do it together. When you use a service account later to attach it to a service to run, you need to add $, for it. So once you mention the name, you add $, acknowledge the system, this is service account, and the password is going to be managed by the system. And you need to leave, if there is a password area, you need to leave it blank, and then continue with the installation. That's all what we have. Thanks for watching.